Yo, hey, what's going on everybody? Alex with you here again. Thanks for dropping by. Always great to see you guys, each and every one of you. Thanks for joining me for this video. Hopefully you guys will in a minute get as excited about this video as I am about making this video. In today's video, I will be sharing with you how I've been utilizing the Chessnut Evo to play chess puzzles. Yeah, chess puzzles on chess.com, and kind of share with you guys how that process is from a practical standpoint, and why I believe that utilizing the Chessnut Evo to solve chess puzzles on chess.com is probably one of the best ways that you can actually boost your chess puzzle score, if that's what you're looking to do. Going back a couple of weeks ago, I finally decided to upgrade my chess.com account from free to platinum, which allows me to have unlimited game reviews, which is one thing that I was really looking forward to, but also unlimited puzzles. And as soon as I was able to upgrade that account, I started playing chess puzzles. So I have effectively brought my chess puzzle score by approximately 1,800 points. I think I started off 2 weeks ago at 900, simply because you're only allowed 3 chess puzzles per day on the free account, whereas on their paid accounts, you're allowed unlimited chess puzzles. So as a result, the gates opened and I just started solving chess puzzles. And I quickly realized that although some of the chess puzzles on like the lower level they're pretty quick and easy to solve if you know what you're doing. Once you get past the level of about 2,000 as far as chess puzzles, they can get kind of tricky and may take more time. And that's when utilizing the Chessnut Evo became really handy, because some chess puzzles really did take me quite a long time, maybe up to like 10 minutes to solve. But I feel like that when you're solving a chess puzzle using a tangible physical chessboard, somehow you're able to see the board in a whole new way that maybe you weren't able to see it on a two-dimensional screen like we're so used to seeing it on the screen. This is kind of a new thing and a new video, because I don't think I've really ever shown you guys how to solve chess puzzles on an electronic board like this. So I'm excited, and hopefully you guys will be too. In fact, I'm going to make a challenge, okay? Be sure right now to pause this video, just pause it, and go hit that like button, okay? I know that hitting the like button isn't much that a lot of people do, but go hit that like button, because here's what I'm going to tell you. My chess puzzle score on chess.com right now, as of making of this video, is 2706. So I got it up to 2706 within a couple of weeks. I'm going to tally up the amount of likes that I will receive on this video and raise my chess puzzle score by that amount. So within the next 2 weeks, I will monitor closely the amount of likes that I'll get on this video. And if it goes average, more than likely, and it might go average, then I'll probably end up getting like 50, 60 likes maximum, which is fine. I will then raise my score, my chess puzzle score, by 60 points, or at least attempt to, because once you get into those upper numbers, it is a little bit tricky. But okay, for every subscription that I'll get from this video, and I have a way of telling specifically the people that have subscribed from this video, I will raise my chess puzzle score by 10 points. So within the next two weeks, anybody who subscribes off of this video, I will tally up the numbers, and every like that I get from this video, I will also tally up. So if I get like, let's say 50 subscribers within the next 2 weeks from this video, and like 50 likes, or maybe let's say 100 likes, 100 and then 50 times 10, 500, so 600. I would have to raise my chess puzzle score from 2706 to like 3300, 3306 or something like that. Is it possible? We'll see. It's gonna be a lot of work for me to do. I'm really excited to see how this turns out. So this is kind of like a collaborative thing, you and me. So like I said, be sure to pause that button and go hit that like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Like, it's gonna be kind of an experiment. I don't know if it'll work out, but I'm actually really excited. Subsequently, I will show you in this video here in just a second how setting up the chess pieces takes place on the Chessnut Evo when it comes to solving chess puzzles. You have already seen me play a game on the Chessnut Evo online on chess.com, but now I'm going to show you how you can actually set up the pieces and how that works just within the chess puzzles. And I feel like this might open up opportunities for a lot of people out there that mainly are solving chess puzzles. Maybe they're not at this time playing chess games, but just kind of doing this casual solving chess puzzles. This might be the board that you might want to get, okay? Because as you will see here shortly, just setting up the pieces and everything, that's pretty easy. It is easy, and it's really nice, okay? So after showing you guys how to set up the pieces, I will also hopefully show you guys what are some of the considerations and some of the things that I look forward to in any chess.com chess puzzle. I'm not talking about League Chess because that's a little bit different. Their chess puzzles are kind of quirky. But I will talk to you, maybe give you some examples, and maybe sort of bestow upon you some helpful knowledge if you're looking for that knowledge to get your chess puzzle score up as much as you can. So if you stay with me, I'm going to share some cool stuff, cool information, so that way maybe you can implement that information in your chess puzzle solving. Yeah, okay, so now before I zoom my camera in a little bit closer to show you guys what I'm talking about, I also wanted to share with you guys some really exciting stuff that I've actually been super stoked to share with you guys in the chess world. So about a couple of weeks ago, I was doing my research and actually got really excited about some of the updates that the Chessnut company is working on with regards to the Chessnut Evo. So I went ahead and contacted a good friend of mine, Dr. Michael Tam, who also has a YouTube channel, as some of you guys might know, called The Adventures of a Chess Noob. If you are not aware of his channel, go check it out. He's got some great stuff on there. I've been subscribed for a while. I watch a lot of his tutorial videos. He's a really nice guy and really helpful in a lot of ways. Just entertaining, just overall a wonderful channel. So go check him out. I'll leave you guys a link below in the description so you can just hit that and go check out his channel, subscribe to his channel too. But that's not the point. The point is I messaged him and I said, hey Michael, are you just as excited about some of the updates that are going to be happening for the Chessnut Evo here within the next couple of months? And we just started talking a little bit, and he said, hey, by the way, I am releasing a book. And I was like, what? That's so awesome. So yeah, he released a book just recently. In fact, he mentions this book on his channel too. It's the 50+2 Chess Quick Wins. Tactical ideas for exciting chess games for beginner players, which he mentions this book is excellent book, not only for beginners, but for intermediate players. And I'm going to venture to say that this book, okay, in a second I'll explain why, is not only geared towards intermediate or beginner chess players, but also for advanced chess players as well. First of all, you can get this on Amazon. I'm going to leave you guys a link below. I'm not affiliated with him. I'm not getting any commission, so this is purely my opinion. I purchased this book with my own money. But I'm really excited, and I wanted to share with you guys because I feel like there's going to be a lot of people that would definitely benefit from this book. And I'll tell you why in just a minute. On Amazon, you will see that you can get this book in paperback for approximately $13 or hardcover, which is what I have, the hardcover edition, for about $24. With shipping and taxes, I think it ended up being about $30, something like that. Which is not that much. I mean, 30 bucks, how much do we spend on these chess sets? Quite a lot more. Really exciting. This guy has put in a lot of time and effort into making this book. It is really cool. So, kind of sharing with you guys what this book is all about. Basically, it's really well done. I have to say, there's going to be the table of contents. I don't know if you guys can see it or if the camera is focusing strictly on my face, but a lot of cool stuff, a lot of explanations, a lot of different things, different types of mates, and then, okay, so in the beginning he goes through like his passion for chess, which is also interesting to read. Dr. Michael Tam is a practicing physician in Australia, Sydney, Australia. He wrote this book for people that might be basically wanting to try out different openings, different chess combinations and things that will be exciting, especially for people that are just tired of making that e2 to e4 opening like me. Well, I'm not super tired about it, but I do make e4 opening like 95% of the time. Why do I feel like you might benefit from this book? Okay, about halfway through the book, very nicely laid out, are going to be these sort of individualized games that will take you step by step with explanations for like really super exciting openings and really super exciting traps that I feel like will get you excited, and I feel like it will just bring more fresh ideas to your chess gaming skills. Now, you might say, I don't practically do a lot of like traps or even look for tactical traps in the beginning of the game, and that's fine. However, you have to take into account that a lot of people will be getting this book. I'm showing it on this channel here. Dr. Michael Tam has showed it on his channel here. This book is going to receive a lot of publicity, and therefore a lot of people are going to want to purchase this book. So before it gets sold out, what's going to happen is a lot of chess players are going to want to buy this book, and then they're going to go through some of these interesting openings. And then what's going to happen is that if you don't have the book, you're going to find yourself playing on chess.com against people, and you're going to realize that you're falling in for a lot of crazy traps, and the games are going to take a turn for the worse for you, because you might not be even aware that some of these things are going to be practiced by a lot of chess players. So it would make sense for anybody that's looking to up their chess skills to consider getting this book, okay? One of the really nice things that I found as I was kind of going through the book is that because everything's so really nicely laid out, you can literally take, for example, you'll say, okay, I'm going to play some chess today, but I'm not going to do my usual opening. So let's see what we got in this book. So let's say we go for a 9-move kill on page 70. Everything's laid out. You got the explanation of the game, and then you have the individual moves with explanations for each of the steps of why those moves are important. So you go with move number 1, you just open the book up like this, you open up your computer or whatever, and you're gonna say, today I'm gonna practice this specific opening. And then you go through and you see, you play 1 game, you play 2, you play 10, 20 games, you see what are gonna be the responses of individual players to your opening. Okay, some of them might fall specifically into the trap of this right here. Some of them might do something different, but by doing that, you're learning how that particular opening may be advantageous to you, okay? You're learning how some of the things and tricks and where the weaknesses in that particular opening lie, where the strengths are, and you're also memorizing it in a way that if somebody attempts to do this particular opening against you, you're going to be prepared. Like, for example, there's a lot of people, I used to play the Queen Gambit a lot during tournaments and everything, and a lot of times the Queen Gambit worked really well for me. D2 to D4, followed by C2 to C4, worked really well for me because I could get that one side to where I could really mount a great attack, and a lot of times the games were really nice. However, nowadays I just do E2 to E4, and I start out with a more calm opening. However, if somebody tries the Queen Gambit opening for me, I never fall for it anymore because I'm so well familiarized, I'm so well acquainted with the Queen Gambit. Same with this book. You might not necessarily choose to play all these openings. However, by going through each one of these games, you're going to gain a knowledge about all kinds of different openings. The nice thing about having a physical, tangible book is that you can open it up to any particular game and you can get your computer out and just practice, okay? You can't do the same thing if it's like a video, because I know that Dr. Michael Tam, he does some of these explanations in some of his videos. However, when you're actually physically about to play a game and you need this sort of a reference on your table, you're not going to be like, oh, what opening am I going to do right now? Oh, let me just get my other computer out and check out this video that you know, he did on, let me decide. You're not going to have time. This is a lot easier, and for $30, like I said, or even like if you get the paperback edition for like some 18 bucks or something, you can get a book with all the cool things in here. And like I said, it'll give you so much cool stuff to work with. You can get so much more variety in your chess games. You can get a lot of exciting endings, a lot of traps out of this game, and like I said, it'll bring new fresh interest into your chess games. So I definitely think you should consider getting this book. I'll leave you guys a link below. Alrighty, so the reason why this room has this like giant echo is actually because the room does not have any furniture besides this little table here that I just brought a couple of minutes ago and my charger on the floor. Because this used to be a kid's playroom, and I've been working really hard to just empty it out and get it to where it's now completely empty. Because my mother-in-law is coming to stay with us for a couple of months here back in December, and we're gonna have some guests. My brother-in-law is coming with his wife, and so we're gonna have a lot of people here. So yeah, there's gonna be probably we're gonna put a little couch here, I'm thinking, and then down where the table is, actually by the wall right over there, we're gonna get a little TV stand with a little TV, and that's where the mother-in-law is gonna stay. I'm really excited. I was excited. It took me like a whole day to clean this room up because it has a lot of toys and stuff. So yeah. Anyways, here, let me show you what I was talking about. Once again, kind of a little bit up close. Really quite nice. The hardcover edition is actually utilizes a little bit of a better ink. There's actually some really nice artwork with cats. Really cool. Really nicely done. You know, guys, to be able to print images, for example, this big, takes a lot of ink. If you've ever had color paper printer and tried to print full-size images like this, it utilizes your ink like very quickly in your cartridge, and a lot of times you might end up getting like 50 prints maximum out of a cartridge that costs like $70, $80. So you know how much it costs to make full prints like this. So just like the overall quality, the build of the book is like really nice. I feel like just very colorful, very cool. I love the explanations on each individual like game, explanation for every move. It's so cool. Now you can get a lot of these, like I said, you can get a lot of these games are actually on his YouTube channel, The Adventures of Chess Noob. But like I said, you would definitely benefit by having a physical book like this, because you can flip through the pages. It wouldn't take you but a second to flip to a different one, as opposed to watching all the videos, which might take you a long time. So really quite nice. Like I said, the print quality is excellent. The games are really exciting. Definitely worthwhile for a lot of you guys to consider getting this book and trying it out, okay? So, yeah. Another reason, by the way, why I think that a lot of people would definitely benefit from having this book is, for example, some of the quick wins might involve certain like combinations of traps. Let me give you a prime example. He talks about the Scholar's Mate, okay? If you guys are aware what the Scholar's Mate is, it's a combination of utilizing your queen and your bishop to basically mate the king right in the beginning of the game. It literally takes only like 30 moves or something like that to accomplish the mate. However, sometimes you can have the opening be in such a way that you might still deliver a Scholar's Mate, or the opponent might try to deliver a Scholar's Mate against you. However, it might not happen in 4 or 5 moves instead of 3. And the way that it would work is basically you're taking out additional pieces, like developing some knights, and maybe the opponent is developing some pieces, but you still have the same maneuvering. In fact, Scholar's Mate is one of the easiest sort of openings to recognize. And I still ended up falling for a Scholar's Mate at a tournament. I remember I was probably like 18, 17. I went to an official tournament it was like a 2-day tournament, and I got mated like literally within the first 5 minutes by a Scholar's Mate. And the reason why some people miss that is because they don't expect it to show up, especially in a tournament. Like, you know, you're playing somebody who's like really serious and they start off with the scholar's mate, but it was this kid from middle school and he just went in and like gave me a scholar's mate, and it was just so surprising. I remember it to this day. He was like, checkmate, and I was like, what? Oh my God, because I was like so focused on, okay, I gotta develop my pieces, I gotta get my defense up, I got all this strategy, checkmate, and I'm like, what? So there you have it. Why am I telling you this? Scholar's mate, for example, is one of the things here in this book, along with a bunch of other interesting stuff. I would consider developing my pieces to a scholar's mate, for example, but only if I needed to get those pieces in that position. I would already expect you to know that scholar's mate is something you would be able to recognize 100%. If I'm playing against somebody online or in real life, if I take out my queen and my bishop, then I already know and expect that you're going to find a way to defend yourself against the scholar's mate. But that is not my final sort of like, oh, he recognized the scholar's mate, now I can't. No, the only reason why I would develop the queen and the bishop to sort of the same position of the scholar's mate is that I would want the queen and bishop to be developed so that I could progress to the next step of further developing my pieces. My final result was never the scholar's mate. It was an intermediate step for me in my development. Because if you take out the scholar's mate, I know it's a crude example, but if you take out the bishop and the queen into the scholar's mate, you are about to basically checkmate, so that causes the opponent to lose a bit of tempo maybe, or at least to have to react. So in an intermediate chess game, you might consider learning a lot of these tips and tricks and these tactical maneuvers in a way that would not necessarily give you a quick win like it says here, but even if you're an advanced chess player, it's more of like, hey, I need to take out this piece, and all of a sudden you will recognize that I have a trap going for you. But my trap was never, or the execution of that trap was never my intention. My intention was actually on the other side of the board, and by taking out my pieces in this particular arrangement will sort of cause you to delay defending on the side that I'm actually going for, because I'm going for the other side of the board. You get what I'm saying? So it's sort of like that scholar's mate is only an intermediate step for me, a balanced board, to continue attacking sort of in another spot altogether. Now, when you're playing at a more advanced skill level against, you know, more advanced higher chess level, the opponent will recognize that you have the ability to do the scholar's mate before you even take out that queen, and then he will preemptively lock in that area so that he doesn't even have to worry about you making the intermediate step. So basically he'll backtrack, and so you know that they know that you know that they know. You know what I mean? So the more advanced higher levels, you know, they're kind of a little bit more, couple of steps ahead of you. So anyways, let me just kind of show you guys what I'm talking about with regards to the chess puzzles here. Alrighty, so let me go ahead and share with you guys how solving chess puzzles on chess.com on the Chessnut Evo works in practice. Hopefully from the angle where I have the camera, you guys are still able to discern which pieces are what. But I'm gonna kind of show you guys as an example one of the chess puzzles. This chess puzzle is rated, I believe, about 2,500. I have, like I said, reached the level of 2,700 within the past couple of weeks, and I wanted to share with you guys some of the things that I look forward to when I solve chess puzzles. So let me just maybe move the camera a little bit so you guys can get a little bit better view of this. Alrighty, so hopefully this angle will work a little bit better, and you guys are going to be able to discern the chess pieces here. So you guys might immediately sort of ask me, because it does seem a little bit counterintuitive, like why would I consider setting up individual chess pieces on a tangible chessboard like this for every single chess puzzle? You might say, well, that takes a lot of time And I would have to agree with you, it might take a little bit of extra time, but it's the fact that you do have to take that extra little bit of time to set up the chess pieces that actually makes this a lot more likely that you're going to take that extra bit of time to try to solve the chess puzzle, because if a puzzle is given to you immediately on your computer or the chess screen without you having to put any work, you're gonna immediately respond by trying to solve it and possibly solving it incorrectly. Whereas if you did have to take a minute or a minute and a half to set up all the pieces properly, like I had to on this board, then you would take a little bit of time to actually consider what your move should be before actually making it, and therefore that extra bit of consideration might turn out in your advantage, and therefore you might gain the extra points with the chess puzzle. So that is one of the number one reasons why I think that utilizing a chessboard like Chessnut Evo here is actually going to be more beneficial to your chess puzzle solving score than just solving it on the computer. And of course, as usual, the fact that you would have to still stare at the pieces is better for you to stare at real pieces in real life like this than having to cause eye fatigue by staring at a screen. As I've mentioned many times before, it's just more beneficial. Less eye strain means more likely for you to continue playing chess throughout the day, you know, and get better at chess, okay? So let me kind of show you guys one example right over here. What do we have going on here in this chess puzzle, which I believe is rated about 2,500? And what are some of the things that I like, some of the considerations that I look forward to in these type of chess puzzles? Well, whenever a chess puzzle comes up, whether it's on the screen or whether I have to set it up on the board, the very first thing that I usually look at, and this might be different from what you guys look at, is I look at all the pieces. I look at the king. So I start off by looking at where the opponent's king is sitting. In this case, the opponent's king is sitting right over here. And I also consider how well protected, how many pieces are protecting the king, what's the likelihood that I can attack the king and get a checkmate. In this case, the king kind of sits in the open, so there's definitely a lot of different options. We can try to move the queen out to here and create a discovered check situation. We can do a number of different things, but we do realize that we have our own knight sitting here on let's see, e5, and it's basically attacking this pawn here. So all we have to do is maybe find another lucky piece of ours that's going to go in for the attack, and who better to do it than a queen? So we have a queen here. We could move the queen out here, but we wouldn't move the queen out here because the opponent's queen would immediately take us. Instead, we could always move the queen out to here, okay? Therefore, by doing that, okay, by moving that piece out to here, we are attacking this pawn here, and our next move we could, you know, attack the opponent's pawn, and therefore we see immediately that it was indeed the correct move. So the opponent is moving their bishop here, okay? However, this is not a 1000 rated chess puzzle. It's a little bit more, you know, it's a little bit more advanced chess puzzle at 2500. There's always little tricks that you have to consider. And before we even have the opponent protect, and before we even make this move, we have to think about, if we go here with our queen, and if he allows us to attack this, okay, then where is that king gonna go? And is this even the right combination? Okay, so let's say that our queen came here and gave a check. Well, he can move here, and we cannot attack here, but we can give a check here, which causes the king to go here. Then we can maybe give a check here, which the king will go here. You're seeing that the king has room to go, possibly to escape, and it makes it somewhat complex. And you don't even know if it might be the way that you should do this. So if you're looking for different ways of solving a chess puzzle, if it seems like there's a lot going on, then, you know, you might want to reconsider. But long story short, the very first thing that I look at in any chess puzzle is the opponent's king and what's the likelihood of me of delivering some kind of a checkmate within the next couple of moves. Do I have enough of my army close enough to the king to be able to execute that type of maneuver? That is a very big consideration. I have this, I have maybe this, I have this ready. I might have this, I need to take him out. He's not fully ready. But these two pieces are good. This piece is even closer. This one, not so much because he's kind of blocked here by the pawns. I got these pieces. So do I have enough of an army for checkmate? Maybe, okay? Maybe. I also look at, after looking at the opponent's king, at my king, okay? So whether my king is under direct attack. In this case, no, because the opponent's pieces are sitting kind of away from my king. My king is protected by this pawn here. It's protected by this rook from an attack to this file here. My knight is protecting this row here, and the pawn is protecting the knight. There's nothing that's attacking the knight at this point besides the queen, and the queen would not dare to take my knight because it would get taken by the pawn. Of course, the opponent could consider getting rid of my knight, but it's not his move right now. It's my move, and that means that we are not under direct attack. It would have been quite different if his pawn, if his bishop was over here. That means upon next move, he can do this. And that's checkmate, okay? So if the puzzle started off like this, perhaps it would have been different. Perhaps, maybe not. You will see here in a second why, okay? So you're saying, okay, well, I've got a couple of things going on. But one of the things, because this is not an easy puzzle, like I said, it's a 2500 chess puzzle, okay, is you have to look for other things, because sometimes the puzzle asks for some kind of a mating combination, and sometimes it's not about it, even though it might look this way, okay? It looks here like that's what it's all about, okay? But in fact, it's not, okay? It's not, because the reality of the situation of this 2500 chess puzzle is that the queen has placed herself in such a way that she has nowhere to go. And what I mean by that is, look at the queen, look at the position of the queen. The queen cannot go here. The queen cannot go here. It can't go here because the pawn is going to take her. It can't go here because the bishop is going to take her. It cannot go here because the pawn is going to take her here, right? The queen cannot go this way. The queen cannot go this way. The queen cannot go this way at this time. The only places that the queen can go is here, 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 and here, okay? Possibly not here because it would be taken, but here, definitely here, and here, right? So it almost seems like if we had our rook right over here on this spot, we would be able to completely lock the queen in. However, that rook going to this spot, all the queen would have to do is take the rook and no more rook, okay? So we're kind of seeing that this puzzle has two different things, sort of what I've alluded to when I talked to you guys about the book and the quick chess wins, these type of scholar mates and all that stuff. The stepping stones, very important. We've got a stepping stone right over here with the queen attacking the king directly, attacking this pawn, okay? But what the queen is doing in reality is we're not looking to attack this because we know the opponent knows better and he has ways of protecting himself. Way number one, in this case, it's going to protect itself with here, okay? And that's in fact what it's going to be doing. But I didn't take the queen out here to attack that pawn, even though I made it look like. Obviously, if they didn't do anything at all and did some, like, you know, some interesting number like this, maybe, I would have attacked. I would have gone for that attack. So they're forced to protect themselves. And by doing that, now I have protected the rook by going the rook here, okay? That's it. The queen has nowhere to go now. Whereas before, when the queen was here, okay, when the queen was there, that rook would have been eaten up by the queen immediately. But now I have, by going here, intermediate move, I have pushed the rook here. Now the rook is protected. Now the queen can't go this way. Now the queen can't go back up here because the queen is about to get taken by the rook, regardless of which one of these places it's gonna go. If the queen goes here, here, or here, it's basically a loss. So it has no choice. So it has to take, okay? And in this case, I take the queen and the game is done, okay? I won this game before and I just wanted to show you this as an example. So in any chess puzzle, what I look for in the beginning is, what is the opponent's king doing? Is it protected? Are my pieces close enough to the opponent's king to deliver some kind of a checkmate? Now sometimes in some of these more difficult chess puzzles, yes, it does take a little bit of extra time for you to sort of figure that out. And sometimes it's actually sort of a decoy. You might have a chess puzzle where the king kind of looks like it's not very well protected and your pieces are kind of all around the king, but in reality that might not be what the chess puzzle requires. The chess puzzle might be just like this. You have just trapped the opponent's queen and ended up getting a whole queen out of it, so you're up 5 points simply because you recognize that it wasn't all about attacking the king here. It was about trapping the queen, okay? The recognition of the fact that the queen had nowhere to go in the beginning was the reason why I pulled out the queen to this square initially, not because I wanted to attack the king, okay? So that's kind of what we have, and let me show you some other chess puzzles. How do you set up the chess puzzles on the Chessnut Evo board when you're actually going through these? Well, you press next, and then what it does is it will actually show you the chess puzzle. What you're going to be doing as soon as you see the chess puzzle open up is you're going to set up all your chess pieces in such a way that basically as soon as you set the pieces up, see how there's color on the squares for where the pieces should go? As soon as you set the right pieces where they need to go, then those squares are actually going to no longer be lit up. So here we go, and the queen will go here and my king here. And once you set up all the pieces like this, okay, then you're ready to go. And then the next move that you make will actually get registered as the move that needs to be done. So this puzzle, which I took time to solve so that I could kind of show you guys what I mean by this puzzle, is an example of a puzzle that where you kind of see that you don't really have a lot of pieces. So you have the queen and the bishop, and the opponent has more material than you do. The opponent has a queen, a bishop, and a rook. So they're a whole rook up. Yeah, you have a few more pawns, but so the very first thing that I look at obviously is the king. Oh, and another thing that I look at, and this is very important, is what was the last move that the opponent has made. A lot of times it's not really a big thing, but it's also really important for you to look at that every time you do a chess puzzle. In this case, the queen, the opponent's queen, went from here all the way down to here, attacking your queen. Why would this matter? The only time that I feel like it actually matters, okay, is at a time that you might have an en passant. This would be a good example, okay? Let's say that the board was like this, and you knew that the last move was the en passant, right over here, okay? You saw that. And you might say, I don't know what to do, or I don't know how to best take advantage of the situation. You do have the discover check here, for example, right? You have the discover check, but it doesn't do a whole lot, maybe. But if you recognize that the previous move that the opponent has made was en passant, and you do know that en passant is when your opponent does not give you, your pawn, the right to exchange by going here, and so you know that en passant is taking like this, discover check, yes, suddenly, you know, you are able to take his rook. You see that? In that situation, I feel like en passant is really important, and it's important for you to recognize the existence of that. So for me, that is another important thing that I look at, very important thing that I feel like all of you guys should look at, is so that you guys don't miss those en passants. They're infrequent, but they happen. And so if the last move by the computer was in such a way that something like this, then definitely consider taking advantage of it. It may not always be the case, but definitely at least consider it, okay? So in this case here, this puzzle, okay, I don't know what the rating was, but I've already solved it a second ago, so I can kind of show you. We have the opponent's king. So this is the very first thing that I look at. The opponent's king is not very well protected. However, at this very moment, I don't have a lot of forces to be able to utilize to deliver some kind of a checkmate. I would have to find a way to maybe go here, and then, which shows it's incorrect, but I know I'll show you guys in a second what is correct. And then maybe find a way to give a check here, and then maybe find a way to come up here or something. I'm having a hard time here. Here we go. I'm having a hard time because I don't really have a lot of ways that I could immediately give this king either make him run across the board or give him a checkmate. It's really hard here. It doesn't look like things are adding up right away. So I take a look at that and I carefully consider if I have enough forces to actually go for the king. In this case, at least to me right now, it really just doesn't look like that's the case. However, we have in this case a situation where it's my move and I am attacking the opponent's rook. I'm attacking the opponent's queen, okay? And I can see that potentially if I chose to exchange the queen for the queen, I could get a rook out of it, okay? And maybe that's going to happen if I, for example, I wouldn't necessarily want to jump out and take the rook right away with the bishop because that would leave my queen unprotected, okay? So I wouldn't necessarily want to do that. However, I have an option of exchanging the queen for the queen, okay? And then maybe once I exchange the queen for the queen, I can take the rook with the bishop, okay? So I go in and I exchange, okay? However, in doing so, you also have to recognize the fact that he was able to escape being taken by going down here. And you also should have been able to foresee this because now you can go back. So you were able to go back here and protect and therefore escape being taken by the pawn over there. It works in this puzzle, it works, and you should have been able to recognize it, and then he takes and you're able to take. And another really awesome thing right now is that you also should have foreseen the fact that he's locked in. He's locked in a little bit right now. He can't move his bishop, so you're going to be able to take his bishop even if he tries to open it up. It's too late. He couldn't go here. He couldn't go here. That is something you should have foreseen before we even made this when we were here, okay? When we were here, you also see that we have a big problem. The bishop is locked in. The bishop is going to be for the taking. That's another reason why I kind of decided that this might not be a mating combination scheme in the beginning because of that bishop. Because I figured, that bishop is in a lot of trouble. He's locked in. If I start to exchange pieces, perhaps I can gain a bishop out of it at the very end, and that's going to allow the game to be played in my favor. See what I mean? So let's take a look at another puzzle. Okay, as I've told you guys before, my very first step is to look at the opponent's king. So in this case, the opponent's king is going to be the white king, and I'm going to take a look and see whether or not there is he's in danger. And in this case, yes, we do have a couple of pieces. We have the bishop right over here, and we have our rook right over there. We have the pawn, which isn't doing much. The king is kind of a little bit too far away. But there might be some combination of things where we can sort of harass the king into a better position for us, because right now he's in a position where it's not as advantageous to us. We can't immediately reap the rewards from the king being in this position, but perhaps if we can move the king or somehow coerce the king into another square, we might be able to push him to where it might be a little bit more beneficial for us. So let's take a look. We got our king. The king is too far away. Look at our king now, okay? Our king is is sitting here, and we also have to ask a question. Is our king under check? In this case, no, he's not. Is our king about to be checkmated? No, really, there's no way that even they can give a single check right now to the king, so we have plenty of time to rearrange our own pieces. So this is going to be a big advantage to us, because now we have the ability to do some intermediate moves. Now, let's go back and look at the king. The king, where does the king can go? If, let's say, we attacked a king somehow, we can perhaps take this bishop and we can push the bishop right over here, in which case that would attack the king. Now, if we did that, where can the king go? Okay, that's important consideration. The king can either go here, okay? The king can go here. The king cannot go here or here or here if our bishop is here attacking. So what are some of the squares that the king can go? The king can go right over here. The king can go here, or the king can go here, okay? If the king goes here, okay? Oh, and also what can happen is he can protect with his rook by moving it here, but it's not causing anything, and it's not a good move, not a move that he would probably go. So the king can go here, okay? If the king can go here after we push the bishop here, we can take this pawn and push it forward, exposing the king on this lane to the attack of the rook, and therefore causing the king to have to go somewhere else, in which case he can go here. And then we promote by eating this this bishop right over here with our pawn, promoting it to a queen. All of a sudden, that's a big advantage, and we are a lot closer to winning the game, if not checkmating immediately. If he goes here, then we can push the pawn forward, possibly forward, or not. Actually, if he goes here, we can push this rook forward to here, and cause him to have to go here, and then taking his bishop with our rook. So let's do that. Let's go here. It looks like it's the best way to go. Yep, so he goes here, okay? He did not go here. That would have been a mistake for him. So now that we've done that, we can go ahead and push here. Yep, and then he has to go here because he's got no other choice. And then we are now ready to take his bishop. Yep, he's pushing forward, so he is trying to still deliver a checkmate. Okay, now is a tricky part. If we take with the bishop here, then the rook will take my bishop. And actually, by doing that, he can come back up to this lane right over here and maybe mess things up for me. I'm gonna go for a more severe attack here. I'm going to attack here, and that was the right move to go. And then I'm going to take his rook, and now he's going to have to take my rook here, and then I will go ahead and take this piece. So that was the right move to go. It was a chess puzzle that was rated, let's see, 27-26, and it's the pass rate was 40%. You know, you only had about a minute to, as far as what their target time was, but don't worry about what their target time is. Take your time. You want to be able to solve these puzzles right. You know, the truth of the matter is, whenever you're solving chess puzzles, if you look at the statistics, like the chess puzzle pass rate for any chess puzzle on chess.com is somewhere between like 40 to 60%, something like that. Which means that regardless of what your chess skill is, a lot of people end up missing these chess puzzles just because they don't take enough time to think about them. If you just take enough time to think about these chess puzzles, I can tell you that you're going to be a lot more likely to win these games, to win these chess puzzles. As a matter of fact, I've actually solved quite a few chess puzzles on my previous chess account. I was doing chess puzzles for over a year, and I ended up playing, not necessarily solving correctly, but playing like, I think, close to 10,000 chess puzzles. So I've gained quite a bit of insight as to all the different ways that these chess puzzles are constructed and presented to you. And to tell you the truth, a lot of them ended up sort of having these repeated patterns and motifs in them, to where they might look different, and there's a lot of extra details that might sort of be designed to complicate things and maybe confuse you a little bit. But as long as you know these patterns, then you're gonna be pretty good overall with many of these chess puzzles. I ended up getting to where it took me almost like over a year to get to a rating of about 2340 on my other account with regards to chess puzzles, and I thought that was pretty impressive. And my overall accuracy rate was over 60%, but I would still lose quite a few of them. But this time around I came back, and like I said, within a couple of weeks I got to 2700, and I'm looking forward to getting the score higher up, you know. So like I said in the beginning of this video, be sure don't leave the video without hitting that like button. And also subscribing if you haven't subscribed to this channel, and I'm going to tally up those numbers. I'm going to look at all the likes that I get for this video for the next 2 weeks, and I'm going to specifically go and look at all the subscribers that have subscribed specifically from this video. I'm going to put all those numbers together, add them up, and see how many points I need to increase my chess puzzle rating within the next couple of weeks to be able to see if that's even something that's going to be possible for me to do. But either way, thank you for watching this video. Once again, consider going out and getting this book. You will benefit quite greatly from it. I'll leave you guys a link below where you can get it. I'm not making a single dime from this book, but I really appreciate all that this guy has done for the entertainment of chess, and also for teaching you guys all the different openings and all the different ways. He's doing a lot of work with regards to chess, and I wish to see his channel on YouTube flourish and grow over time. So yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one, okay? Bye bye.